keep on trucking home. Me and my radio with our CB on. We always love to sing those good old country songs. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home. I meet a lot of people everywhere I go, on interstates, city streets, and quiet country roads. All those 18-wheelers pulling heavy loads, while me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Almost every trucker throughout this great land has a country DJ he calls his friend, who plays country music to satisfy the soul, while me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Me and my radio with our CB on. We always love to sing those good old country songs. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Well, some big rig truckers roll on through the night. There are some good old boys who drive from 8 to 5. Well, they listen to the radio, they never feel alone. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Me and my radio with our CB on. We always love to sing those good old country songs. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home. Me and my radio just keep on trucking home.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Are you ready? It's showtime. Please welcome Tim Kelly.
You and me were as good as it gets. Had everyone wishing they had what we did. Picture Perfect magazine. You pulled the trigger and called it quits. Said it was all your fault and you couldn't resist the other women in your dreams. I didn't get no warning. I went from calling shotgun, riding in your car, to calling shotgun in the back of the bar. Don't know what happened, but the fact is I'm brand new. Oh, you were someone that I couldn't resist, and now you're someone that doesn't even exist. Now all I know is that I'm over you. 'Cause I'm calling the shots and I'm holding the gun. After a a few missed calls and getting new keys. Wasn't long till I was back on my feet. Only took a week. Went from calling shotgun, riding in your car, to calling shotgun in the back of the bar. Don't know what happened, but the fact is I'm brand new. Oh, you were someone that I couldn't resist, and now you're someone that doesn't even exist. Now all I know is that I'm over you. 'Cause I'm calling the shots, and I'm holding the gun. Didn't get no warning, so glad I ain't calling. Hey, calling shotgun, riding in your car. I'm calling shotgun in the back of the bar. Don't care what happened, 'cause I'm brand new. You were someone that I couldn't resist, and now you're someone that doesn't even exist. Now all I know is that I'm over you. 'Cause I'm calling the shots, and I'm holding my gun. I'm calling the shots, and I'm holding the gun. I'm calling the shots, and I'm holding the gun.
Her name is Anna Scott. Anna Scott Music, and her brand new single out to radio called Shotgun. Thanks for riding shotgun with me tonight. I appreciate it. And welcome to the Tim Kelly Show from KICR Indie Country Radio. We are broadcasting live from Branson, Missouri, the live show capital of the world. My good friend Wolf Milestone from Canada leading us off tonight. And I'll tell you what, I had breakfast with him this morning here in Branson, Missouri. And Bo Haas and Cindy Lou, they're coming up as well. A couple of great artists. And we had a great time hanging out and telling all kind of cool stories. I'm wearing a Wolf Milestone t-shirt tonight for the TikTok Live, and so that's awesome. Me and My Radio was the song he kicked off with, and it is National Radio Day, so welcome to this National Radio Show. We appreciate you tuning in tonight, and I'm also on 11 other radio stations around the world. We'll give them a shout out here in just a second, but I've got two great radio interviews tonight on the program as well. My good friend J.W. Jackson from Ozark, Missouri, just north of Branson, is going to join me in the first hour, and then Larry Cann, C-A-N-N, all the way from Australia, going to be here in hour number 2. That big shout out and thank you to all of the other stations that replay this program goes out to great stations like KUHS Denver at KUHSdenver.com, Country Road 58 from Germany, countryradio.musicbox4friends.com from Belgium, Down to Road Radio.com from Ireland, Bourbon Trail Radio, Top Shelf Radio, Texas, Radio 94.3 in Sweden, Hot and Funky Radio, and 957 hotandfunkyradio.com and KDubRadio.com. And I am also on Saturdays, 98.1 KOZX, the Haas FM. Check out the Tim Kelly Show that airs on Saturdays from 10 p.m. Central to midnight. You can catch the Tim Kelly Show on all the major streaming platforms like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, wherever you stream music. Just Google search the Tim Kelly Show, and you too will be listening to New Country's Best. Mike Corrales is up next with a brand new single. It is called Kind That'll Hold Your Heart on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Indie Wednesday.
She ain't the cold bed, hold a grudge kind. She don't throw heat just to burn your mind, and doesn't build you up just to tear you down. She's the type that'll stick around. Hide a little mama with a fire that's sweet. She don't need drama to feel complete. Knows how to treat her man at home and loves him like she's glad he's her own. She ain't in it for the power play. She don't keep score or push you away. Ain't gonna flip when the money's tight. She knows y'all are building it right. takes the good with the bad through the years. Doesn't count dollars like points on a chart. She knows what's hers is just as much heart. Won't turn cold when the going gets rough. She leans in close and calls that love. And when it's late and your mind's a mess, she reminds you with her lips and dress. She ain't in it for the power play. She don't keep score and push you away. Ain't gonna flip when the money's tight. She knows y'all are building it right. Not the kind to twist the blame or shame you just for sharing the pain. She ain't gasoline on a spark. She's the kind that'll hold your heart. She don't play games with your peace of mind. Don't act sweet, then turn unkind. She knows men crave more than bills and plans. Sometimes they just need soft hands. She ain't just there when the ride is smooth. She's beside you with nothing to prove. Doesn't trade love for leverage or pride. She's the kind that'll stand by your side. And when the world tries to tear you apart, she pulls you back with a wide open heart. She ain't gasoline on a spark. She's the kind that'll hold your heart. She's the kind that'll hold your heart.
You're listening to Tim Kelly on Indie Country Radio.
Well, we rolled up thinking it was something grand, the kind of place with a big name and a bigger band. But the lights were dim and the crowd was thin. Just a few locals with a bottle of gin. This place stayed all black, just a neon sign. Ain't no buzz, ain't no line. Bartender slow, music's light. This place ain't all black. We took a seat at the bar, ordered us a round, looking for a good time, but it couldn't be found. The jukebox played a song from '92, and the stale smell of smoke hung like perfume. This place stayed all black, just a neon sign. Ain't no buzz, ain't no line. Bartender slow, music's light. This place ain't all black. We watched the clock tick, but time stood still, chasing dreams of neon lights and a thrill. But the hype was gone, just an empty stage. Now this place was just a faded page. This place stayed all black, just a neon sign. Ain't no buzz, ain't no line. Bartender slow, music's light. This place ain't all black. Back on the highway with a story to share. Thought of joy with promise, but nothing was there. Maybe the next town's got a better shot, where the nights are alive and dreams ain't forgot. This place stayed all black, just a neon sign. Ain't no buzz, ain't no line. Bartender slow, music's flat. This place ain't all that. Watch the clock tick, the time stood still, and chasing dreams, the neon lights and a trail. But the hype was gone, just an empty stage. Turned out this place was just a faded page. Thought we'd find some magic, thought we'd find some thrills. All we got were bar stools and spent dollar bills. Guess we'll hit the road, find another spot where the drinks are cold and the band's hot. This place ain't all that, just a neon sign. Ain't no buzz, ain't no fun. Bartender slow, music's flat. This place ain't all that.
His name is Bo Haas. Her name is Cindy Lou. They are husband and wife, and we had a great time hanging out with them this morning for breakfast. They got a great song right there called This Place Ain't All That. I've said that, actually, about a venue here not too long ago. But the place we went to today was all that, man. Some home-style cooking, and we got to sit and tell stories and talk about radio. And they are on their way to Clarksville, Tennessee as we speak. Tomorrow morning, they're going to be on the Kevin and Bonnie Show. My good friend Bonnie Swope and Kevin, they're going to interview Bo Haas, Cindy Lou, and my good friend Wolf Milestone as well from Canada. So you guys tune in to that if you can. Catch it in the mornings. Many of you probably see that show. She does it on Facebook Live as well. So go like and follow it, and they'll be on there live. And then they're heading on their way to Atlanta, Georgia this weekend for the ISSA Awards. They got several nominations for that as well. A lot of artists that I play have those nominations, and congratulations on those. And I hope you guys all bring home some hardware. That would be super cool, wouldn't it? This next artist is my good friend Lee Newton. Lee Newton Music on Facebook and social media. This is called Carolina on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, playing new country's best on an Indie Wednesday.
Born in a small town, 2-bedroom rundown house, back in the woods of Carolina. Mama did all she could to raise me right underneath that roof with her Bible in her lap singing hallelujah. And Daddy worked night and day, bringing home a cab driver's pay, making enough to barely feed us. We were poor, but I didn't know, but oh, how they loved me so. They used to look at me and say, girl, you're gonna go so far, but don't forget who you are. Don't let this world ever change you. You know there's gonna come a day when you look back and say, I'm proud to be from Carolina. Looking back how I was raised, I wouldn't change one single thing, 'cause it made me who I am. Mama taught me to praise the Lord, and Daddy taught me 3 simple chords, and with a capo, I can play most anything. The bright lights hadn't changed my ways, but sometimes I still miss those days when Dad and Mom were all I had. I sure wish I had them here just one more time, whispering in my ear. I can almost hear them say, girl, you're gonna go so far, but don't forget who you are. Don't let this world ever change you. You know there's gonna come a day when you look back and say, I'm proud every stage, I can almost see my daddy's face. Proud of his girl from Carolina.
It's time for today's newest country music, Indie Country Radio, with Tim Kelly.
Before you, I won't lie, there was a few close calls and almost maybes. They all made me who I am. Before you, I was sure that I was living, didn't know what I was missing, till I got to be your man. I thought I knew what good love looked like, so sure I was doing it right, but I had it all wrong. I thought I knew what forever feels, but I was just spinning my wheels. There's 1,000 things I swear I thought I knew. Before you, the sky was blue, but it wasn't blue. My heart beat, but it wasn't beating the way it is right now. If I'm wrapped up in your arms, I ain't ever coming down. I thought I knew what good love looked like, so sure I was doing it right, but I had it all wrong. I thought I knew what forever feels, but I was just spinning my wheels. There's 1,000 things I swear I thought I knew. Before you, you're the missing piece I never knew I needed. Before you, if I'm complete, baby, you're the reason, the reason. I thought I knew what good love looked like, so sure I was doing it right, but I had it all wrong. I thought I knew what forever feels, but I was just spinning my wheels. There's 1,000 things I swear I thought I knew. Before you, before
You're listening to the Tim Kelly Show on KICR, IndieCountryRadio.com. It is Indie Wednesday. I'm playing the best in new country music, and I've got a couple of great radio interviews today. J.W. Jackson is with us this morning or this evening. How are you, my friend?
Pretty good, man. Couldn't be doing no better if I got hung with a new rope.
There you go, man. I like that. That's a country western song right there. Hang around and you'll hear more, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
I love it. So yeah, we have actually met you in person. You're from Ozark, Missouri, not too far from Branson, and me and your my wife and your wife Tricia, we've went out to dinner and broke bread together, and you guys are fantastic. I've been looking forward to this one.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Your music career started way back in the day. You picked up a $75 acoustic guitar when you was a young man.
I wasn't that young. I was 66 years old.
You started a little bit later, but hey, that's all right. Speaking of young men, we were talking about young Michael Schott. You guys know each other, and he's getting ready to turn 14, I believe. So, yeah, that's kind of how we connected. I interviewed Michael back on April the 4th, and he led me to you.
I tell you what, man, he got more energy than a man Rattlesnake.
Yeah.
I tell you what, man, he can get right after it now.
Absolutely. So yeah, you did. You started at 66 years old. Took you about a month of having sore fingers, learning how to play the guitar and getting the chords down. But you're getting there, man. I've watched you do a little bit in your home studio, and my grandson loved playing the guitar in there too.
Oh yeah. We were. I gave him a cowboy hat to wear.
That's right. Made a real cowboy out of that little man. Yeah, he just
right.
celebrated his 8th birthday on July the 4th.
Wow.
So, well, I tell you, time flies, doesn't it? But you're started at 66, and you're going strong. You've been working with another buddy of mine down in Branson, Mike McAdoo, who's a great guitar player.
Yeah, Mike and I work together probably all the time. He maps a lot of my songs out. He plays lead. You know, he can play any string. I mean, he's incredible. You know, bass player. He can play about anything. And he's #1 in Branson right now. He just got voted #1 lead guitar player in Branson about 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
And I would say Mike's probably in the top 10 in the U.S. as far as guitar players. He's an incredible guitar player. Matter of fact, he's given me private lessons.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, he doesn't do that very often. But the thing is, though, is he said, I need help with my timing.
Yeah.
He said, man, your timing's atrocious. I said, I know.
Okay. Well, you guys will get all that down, and I'll tell you what, timing is everything, though, and we've met for a reason, and I'll tell you what, you guys are fantastic. We love hanging out with you guys, and you're fantastic to talk to, and it's always fun to talk about music and country music and songwriting, and you've been writing a lot of songs. You said you just got out of the studio, and you're waiting on 4 of them to be mixed and mastered, so that's awesome.
Yep. And I've got some pretty big players playing on my stuff besides here. Charlie McCoy, I'm sure everybody's heard of Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
He came down and played harmonica on one of my songs, Brave Blue Shields. And it's for the police and first responders, and that was basically for charity, you know, and it's for the Heroes Studios, Heroes Song Studios down in Fort Myers, Florida. And then Jake Clayton, he plays with Tanya Tucker, and he's also one of my second cousins or first cousin once removed or whatever they are. Anyway, and he came down and played, and Mike McAdoo played on that. He played lead guitar on it, on that. And then Kent Slusher was the drummer, and Kent plays with Luke Bryan.
Wow.
And so I've got some pretty big hitters that play on my music, and, you know, I'm probably the weakest link, you know, but I've got some strong links in there. So
well, you're getting some recognition, and you told me you guys are getting ready to head to the Josie Awards. I think that's going to happen in November, so that is going to be awesome. And you're up for several awards, so congratulations on that. And I hope you bring something back home. That'd be awesome.
Well, I'm telling you, man, none of it hurts, you know.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
There, I said again.
You know, yeah, we know that this is going to be a great interview. I've been looking forward to it for a while. At 68 years old, you had your birth father's family name and your DNA revealed, ultimately hailing you to the Jackson family. We're not talking about Michael Jackson's family, I don't believe. We're talking about Alan Jackson's family, and you're a distant relative somehow. Tell us about that a little bit.
Well, what happened was my birth name, you know, my father, my dad that raised me, his name was Schmig, and so he found out a couple hours after I was born I wasn't his, you know. So anyway, but he took me anyway, and my mama ran off and never come back. There's another country song for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so she never really came. She never did come back. So he took me to Wisconsin and gave me to his folks. Matter of fact, I'm writing a song about that right now, about sitting in church with my grandma up there. The first time I can remember ever going to church, I was about 5 years old, you know? Yeah. And so, you know, it's like you got to write from what you know.
Well, absolutely, you know, and that's what country music is all about. It's 3 chords and the truth, and, you know, when you can write about stuff that you've lived and you put your heart and your soul out there in these songs, people resonate with that, or it resonates with people. You can go play these gigs around town here, even locally, and, you know, you can look out in these smaller crowds, especially in these smaller venues, and see those people maybe tearing up to some of the stuff that you've written or performed.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's like my Jackson stuff. When when I found out I was a Jackson, we put our DNA in. We'd already put our DNA in like four or 5 years before that, because I was trying to find my birth father. And so I found that my wife is big in a genealogy in our DNA, and she found that I was a Jackson. Well, I came up and I got 30 or 40 matches of Jacksons, but there's another person in there. It's called Music, and Alan's mama was Mama Ruth Music. That was her birth name, and I've got some Music cousins. Well, one day I got a phone call from his sister, and her name's Diane Dawson Jackson, you know.
Yep.
And so she said that you're related to us, and I said, oh, and this went on for about a year. And finally one day she said, you know who we are, don't you? I said, no, ma'am. She goes, I said, you're Diane Dawson, and your mama's a Music. She goes, I'm Alan Jackson's sister.
Wow.
I said, I'll be dogged, you know.
Yeah.
So I went, all right, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you know, I don't know Alan. I've never met him, but
Yeah.
I have a strong resemblance to him from
You
what
do?
I understand.
You do.
Yeah.
In the pictures that we took together, you resemble him a lot. And I'll tell you what, I just interviewed a gentleman for the third or fourth time, James Rose, up there in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. And he told me, he said, you know, no matter what, I'm going to Alan Jackson's final live show performance. And that just recently happened. You know, his health has gotten so bad that he can't hardly sing and play anymore, unfortunately, the great Alan Jackson. But he did. He said, I wasn't going to miss that. It was the show of a lifetime. He'll never forget it.
Well, Alan, he has Charcot-Marie tooth, and his sister Diane had it probably 12 or 13 years ago, and she was telling me that Alan had it back then and swore to me to secrecy.
Wow.
And said, don't tell anybody that he's got this, because his might not ever progress to that point, but it did, you know. And so I've kind of got the neuropathy as well, but mine's not as bad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm also a lot older. I'm 7 years older than Alan.
Oh, okay.
So, so he, you know, he's, you know, of course, I'm a lot better looking, so we got that.
We'll let that go. Yeah, absolutely. You've got a great song here called Our Flag Flies in Dover for the military folks and honoring our veterans. Man, I love that. I did a thing in St. Louis back in 2023 called Freedom Jam USA, and they were donating all the money proceeds go to help our veterans build tiny homes in the St. Louis area. And I'm sure you'll agree with me, there should never be such a thing as a homeless veteran, but unfortunately there are in this country. And a lot of different other benefits. They helped them get canines if they had PTSD issues. They need a dog, they would help with that. And the tickets, and I was emceeing the thing, the tickets we bought, we wanted to donate that money to the veterans. And so you did a great thing with this, and there's a great video to it you can check out on my TV channel, ICTV. That's Indie Country Television, to Our Flag Flies in Dover. But tell us about this song.
Okay, I'm a Vietnam vet, combat on the ground vet, and so the Gold Star families are, you know, they lost their fallen, you know, the soldiers is there, you know. Well, I was in the Army, and this before I went to Vietnam. I was 17 years old. I couldn't go yet, so they had me go on a funeral detail. Well, I saw firsthand what that video is about.
Wow.
And so it kind of struck a nerve, you know. So anyway, I had to write that down and verbalize it, and that's why I did that. And then we went down to Branson and recorded it, and Greg, and we all went out to College of the Ozarks. They've got a Veterans Memorial, and so, you know, and the song really warranted doing something like that, and that's where the video came from. But that's the one that's voted social impact video of the year at the Josie Awards at the Grand Ole Opry.
Right.
And all the proceeds go to the Gold Star families.
Congratulations, man. That is awesome. And thank you for doing that for those families. And I'll tell you what, you know this too. You've been in many shows in Branson, I'm sure, but every show I've ever been to, they always have a tribute for the veterans, but come around maybe intermission. They'll have every branch of the military service stand up and they get applauded. And in Branson, they not only do Veterans Day, they do a whole week of Veterans Week here in Branson. I love that too.
Well, they do the whole year basically, because
yeah, right.
Well, they do, because it's God and country, and
Yep.
you know, every show they do exactly what you said, and their military museum down there is, you know, on the strip is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, they've got all of these soldiers on that big statue thing, and it's long like a limousine. I think that thing was valued at well over $1 million. And come around about 2012, when the Branson tornado happened or whatever, that thing was in storage or something, you know, and protected from all that somehow. But yeah, it's out there on the 76 strip now. When you go through town, you can see that, and it's a pretty neat sight to see.
Yeah, I got my pictures taken with that a couple of times, and we went out to the College of the Ozarks. Of course, they got the Gold Star Memorial Tribute out there, and that's you know, I've got. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking my album cover, it shows me standing in that you know, that tribute,
Right.
and but that's why I wrote that song, and it's really, you know, meant something to me.
That is awesome. We were talking about it off the air before we got on, but let's give a big shout out to the recording studio down there in Branson that you used to record the songs that we're playing tonight.
Yeah, Greg Roller and Roller Music Pro, and Greg is a phenomenal engineer. He must have the patience of a saint.
Yeah.
Because when I started, he's the first guy that ever recorded me. And I walked in there, and I couldn't even hardly sing. You know, I could sing, but I've sang all my life. But going to a studio like that and singing, it's kind of like doing a radio interview and not saying you know a lot.
Yeah. It takes some time, doesn't it? But hey, you're doing fantastic. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. You guys are great. And we're going to play Our Flag Flies in Dover by J.W. Jackson. Then we're going to come back and talk about another great song called No Plans for the Future on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Indie Wednesday.
While the planes are met with our soldiers, they're all standing tall to salute their flag grade cargo. They are precious, one and all. With the bodies of our loved ones, we stand in prideful sorrow, and without their sacrifice, there would be no tomorrow. Our flag flies in Dover. Our flag flies in Dover. Trying to pull down our nation and our brave guard at their stations. They gave all to us, and they laid it on the line to let our freedom shine. Our flag flies in Dover. The flags that drape our soldiers, they put their lives in the way for us to keep living our way. They paid with their bodies, but their brave hearts belong to us. We grieve for them with our broken heart.
With our broken heart.
Our flag flies in Dover. Our flag flies in Dover. Freedom is shining on our fallen soldiers with their sweat and pride. Their sweat and pride. Praise our faithful honor. Let our flag
His name is J.W. Jackson. The song is called Our Flag Flies in Dover. And again, there's a great video to that. You can check it out either on YouTube or you can go to my TV channel. And ICTV stands for Indie Country Television. That tab is at the top of the homepage at KICRIndieCountryRadio.com. And, you know, that is a great song, but a great video. All the proceeds go to help those veterans and their families. Man, that's a good thing you're doing, my friend. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we were talking off of the air. Your wife, Tricia, that we've also met and broke bread together with, has some family history of country music as well.
Yeah, Trisha's first cousin was a guy named Harold Morrison.
Mm-hmm.
And Harold was pretty famous, and he played on Hee Haw. He played with the Wilburn Brothers, played at the Ozark Mountain Jubilee here. But he was a session musician in Nashville for a long time, and played with just about everybody.
Wow.
He played Jeannie C. Riley. He did the dobro on Jeannie C. Riley, and on that Harper Valley PTA.
Wow.
And he's got a full thing down at the School of the Ozarks in the museum down there. And he's also got his own Wikipedia page, which is a big deal. And so Harold, I can say his name, and almost everybody around Branson knows him, has worked with him. Matter of fact, we were where Mike McAdoo plays at the Pickin' Porch down there.
Right.
And Mark Pearman, that actually owns the Pickin' Porch, he was, we got talking about Harold, and he lived in Harold's basement back in Nashville.
Wow. Isn't that something? I went to the Pickin' Porch, and I've got some sitting on my desk right now. I got to put them on the wall, but some of the little trinkets that we've got, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs and Royals fan, and I bought some of these little metal plates they've got, logos or whatever. So, but yeah, we looked at that venue in the back, and that's a pretty huge venue back there where they play in the back of that thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, that No Plans for the Future song that I've got, that was kind of like from my previous life. You know.
Well, go ahead and tell us about it. I'm getting ready to play it for you right now, as a matter of fact.
Well, sometimes you don't have a plan for the future, and you find out, at some time, and you find out maybe who you're with was right all along.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so that's what that song's about.
I love that. And this last one we're going to play that's going to kick off the top of the next hour is called Bent Rusty Nail. Tell us about this one. I love the title.
I'm just like an old bent rusty nail. That's a character that I know. There's a guy that I know that actually acts like that. And he plays guitar and he sings in bars, and he's got, for some reason he likes to drink a lot.
Yeah.
And so you never see him without a beer in his hand and a guitar.
Yeah, how about that?
And so I wrote a song about the guy. I'm not going to tell you who he is. I don't want to make him infamous over, that.
Speaking of guitars, since you got your first one, I think it's 66 years old. You got a few now in that home studio. I've seen several of them.
Oh yeah. Well, that Bent Rusty Nail was 26 weeks on the European Academy of Country Music charts. And it went to #1. It was on #1 for a week.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's awesome. And you've been doing quite well on the Cashbox charts, too, you were telling me.
Yeah, next month I'm number 71 on the top Country 100 independent charts.
That is awesome. Who would have thought a gentleman from Ozark, Missouri, living, you're just a few miles from where I'm sitting at right now. And we're based out of Branson with the radio program, but we have actually met a couple of times. And I had no idea you were here. Then I interviewed that young Michael Schott, and he turns me on to you, and we just kind of hit it off. You guys were in Florida on vacation at the time we started talking, and after you got back, we connected, and we've been friends ever since. And I was sure looking forward to having you on the program today.
Yeah. Well, when you're your private life, you kind of keep it private, and quiet, and you don't want people, I don't know. It's just like you start telling people about what you're doing. You don't want to be bragging around.
Yep.
So,
Well, that happens here. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, but I asked that specifically of artists. You know, do you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and hit Trish and say, "Hey, I got a song idea. What do you think of this?" And that probably happens too in your private life, doesn't it?
It happens to me every day.
I figured
But
it
what
did.
I've got my phone beside my bed, and I got a recorder, and I'll whisper a few words into it so I can remember what I thought of, and then when I get up, I'll actually start writing the song.
Yeah.
But just about every day, I come up. Well, I do some of my best thinking when I'm driving down the road for some reason.
Yep. You know,
And my birth father was a guy named Bob Wilson. His name was Wilson, even though he wasn't a Wilson. He took his mama's maiden name, but he played with. He was at Cedarwood Publishing down in Nashville, and he was a guitar player and a session musician, and he was a songwriter. And he did a lot of stuff for Marty Robbins and them guys. And I saw an interview with Marty Robbins. They were driving down the street, or driving up to West Texas, and that's where that song El Paso came from.
wow. Isn't that something? You know, I used to do a Marty Robbins tribute show in Branson at the Little Opry Theater inside the IMAX for Leroy New. He's won Guitar Player of the Year back in 2010. He could do dueling banjos with just the guitar. He made it sound like a banjo.
I remember him. Trish, my wife, worked at the Hall of Fame in Branson.
Okay.
When she got out, when she was at the college, and the Hard Work U.
Yeah.
She went to college there because her daddy retired from Branson. From there.
Yeah.
And he also, if you look at all the Bass Pros, his pictures in there because he was a guide on the White River back when Jim Owens fishing guide service, and that basically got Johnny Morris started with Bass Pro. And her mom made the lures on her kitchen table for some of his first lures.
Yeah, isn't that something? You know, and they talk about in some of the shows that I've been to in Branson how there was this thing, and they do it every 10 years. They give an Artist of the Decade award out. Marty Robbins got one. You mentioned Loretta Lynn. She was an Artist of the Decade for 10 years of her service. Garth Brooks has won it. George Strait has won it, and there's a few others. I can't remember all of them, but, you know, for the last 60 or 70 years, they've given away the Artist of the Decade, and that's pretty cool.
Well, in 30 years or so, I'd like to win Artist of the Year down there.
There you go. You're on the list, man. You're working your way. Where can folks find J.W. Jackson if they want to check out more of your story? And I know you got a website that you just recently updated. So tell us about where we can find you.
JWJacksonmusic.com. And you can go to YouTube at JW Jackson Music.
Okay.
You can go to Spotify, any of the streaming services. I'm on probably just about every streaming services. Right now, my songs are playing about 200 countries on FM and on, and through Catchbox, they put me with about 1,700 country radio stations.
Yeah.
So I'm playing on FM stations all over.
Isn't that amazing? Me and you are of an age that we remember prior to the internet and all of this technology that we have now that makes that happen, isn't it?
Oh, man. Well, one day I was listening to Outlaw Country, and my song came on Outlaw Country on Sirius. And I went, doggone. You know what I really don't like, though? Somebody will say, hey, I heard you on the radio in Kansas City, or I heard you in Dallas, or whatever. I said, what channel? I don't know. What song was it? I don't know.
They need to get that phone out and screenshot that for you, and I see that a lot too. They'll screenshot their radio in the car or the truck or whatever, and now I mean my truck's so new it doesn't have a CD player in it, so everything is digital now, and that's how it happens. You get somebody on there and you're like, okay, I really got to search this out and find out who this is. But there is a lot of great country music out there in this world if people just dig for it a little deeper, huh?
Oh yeah. Well, just like me driving down the road, you don't hear your own self on the radio, and you're like,
yeah.
But people ask me all the time. They'll say, "What channel are you playing on?" Well, I'm on the iHeart system, and I'm on this system. I don't know how many radio stations iHeart has, or on the, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But all these, the 2,400 channels play country music in the U.S. right now. I think that's how many there were.
There's a bunch. We're putting you on 11 radio stations tonight, including mine, and I am on iHeartRadio and Spotify and Amazon and all the digital formats, so they'll be able to hear your music. And the show tonight that we're doing is going to be in rotation for about 2 months, so you're going to play over and over again.
That's cool.
Yeah, I have a 3-hour show, and I've got 8 of them a day go around in a 24-hour period. I'm pretty good at that kind of math. How about that?
Well, how do you do this, Tim? I mean, you're a busy guy, and you're doing all this radio. Mm-hmm. And how do you do it? And does your wife put up with it? Does Brent? I got another question. Do your dogs put up with that?
They do. Yeah, they get their time with me, but and the feeding and the watering and all of that. And Brenda gets that too. So, she's something else. I tell you what, she loves the independents too. And when we get to go meet you guys and some of the ones that we play on the radio in person, there's nothing better. And that's why you guys are going to the Josie Awards, and hanging out with those people, that you wrote the songs with, that, we're part of making that all happen. And that's the beauty of doing it, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and you guys, you're fantastic people. We met you, and, for some reason, you got a red truck with Chiefs all over. I don't know what that is.
That's right. We got a few awards, too. They're called Super Bowl Lombardi trophies.
I'm telling you, I've seen your truck, and you said I'm going to have a red truck and got a little Chief emblems on it. I'm like,
that's right.
Yeah, you got them all right.
You betcha. Well, it's been fun having you on, man. Don't be a stranger. We'll get together real soon. You guys are getting ready to go on vacation here in a day or two, so have a safe trip, and we'll see you back when you come home, and we'll get together again.
Thank you. We'll listen to your channel. I have been. As you can see, I go on there quite a bit.
Absolutely. So. You can pick us up all over the place, so thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. J.W. Jackson is who he is. This is called No Plans for the Future, and then Bent Rusty Nail coming up next on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best, on this Indie Wednesday.
No plans for the future. I ain't got no plans for today. When I got up in the morning, I want to do things my way. You said do what you want when you left me. Sitting beside the barn, I just didn't think having fun was doing nobody no harm. I ain't got no plans for the future. I ain't got no plans for today. When I got up in the morning, I want to do things my way. The ring that was on your finger is for sale in a second-hand store. You picked it up and put it back in your pocket. After throwing it down on the floor. Well, I ain't got no
in the morning. I do what I want all day. But for some crazy moment, things didn't look all that bad your way. I ain't got no plans for the future.
Another hour of the best in new country starts now. On Indie Country Radio, New Country's best.
I gotta get in my old rusty nail mood, man. Crusty and rusty and don't give a damn. I'm just like an old bent rusty nail. Just trying to stay my ass out of jail. Oh, rusty and crusty and not worth a damn. A good woman can make me a better man than I am. Well, I'm built pretty good and I'm twisted in a weird kind of way. I just seem to want to call it a day. Well, I can't hold a job, but you just never fear. I can sell a whole can of beer. She came down and she bailed me out. Her friends think I'm a lout. I can sing you a magnificent song. I just don't seem to get along. Your friends don't understand my motivation. When I sing in a bar, I get a standing ovation. I'm just like an old bent rusty nail. Just trying to stay my ass out of jail. I'm rusty and crusty and not worth a damn. I'm just like an old man rusty nail. Just trying to stay my ass out of jail. I'm rusty and crusty and not worth a damn. A good woman can make me a better man than I am. She's the sledgehammer that's gonna straighten me out. 'Cause I'm just like an old bent rusty nail.
His name is J.W. Jackson. What a fun song that is. Old Bent Rusty Nail. I tell you what, he nailed that song. I love it. And he is from Ozark, Missouri, just a little bit north of the live show capital of the world in Branson, Missouri, where I'm broadcasting live right now. We had a great time, and we have had many great times hanging out with him and his wife, Tricia. And hello, everybody. And I know he's watching on TV as well. I just screenshotted that while we were doing the live interview tonight. I thank you for joining the program, J.W. Jackson. Jackson. You're fantastic, and come back anytime. Love to talk to you again on the radio. And we are on the radio for 2 more hours, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Tim Kelly Show from Branson, Missouri on KICR, IndieCountryRadio.com. I am also on TikTok Live at Tim Kelly On Air. The link to that website I just told you is in my bio. I'm over on YouTube at KICR Indie Country Radio, and I'm live on Facebook on my account. You get to see the face for radio all over the place tonight. I got my new Wolf Milestone t-shirt on today, and we got it going on music-wise in hour number 2 as well. The gentleman that is going to kick off hour number 2 is Boss Stone. He's got a great song here called Keep Me in the Country. I plan on it on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on Indie Wednesday.
Blacked out, jacked up, burnout, souped up, rolling down 41 with the windows up. 10 minutes early, hard racing on a first day. Turn the music down, can't let it escalate. She's waiting outside with some sweet tea, short skirt, tank top, looking radiant and free. A little too fancy for the Dairy Queen, but I love her style. It's a perfect scene. Keep me in the country, don't head to town. Take me down a dirt road, let's watch the sun go down. Let me hear the crickets sing and the dogs bark. Take me to a swimming hole, dive in after dark. Whatever you do, boy, keep me in the country. 12 years later, she's still holding tight. Couple kids and a bloodhound by our side at night. Couldn't picture life in any other way. I thank the stars for that fateful day. Keep me in the country, don't head to town. Take me down a dirt road, let's watch the sun go down. Let me hear the crickets sing and the dogs bark. Take me to a swimming hole, we'll dive in after dark. Whatever you do, boy, keep me in the country. So here we are on this winding road, with laughter and love in this little boat. Through every season, I'm so glad she chose to keep me in the country where love ever grows.
Great country tunes on the radio.
Get it?
Today's country.
Country lives right here. Country is what we do.
Today's country. More of today's new country now.
I love the music.
You're listening to KICR Indie Country Radio, syndicated worldwide, playing New Country's best.
Now this is my kind of country.
New country.
New country.
New country.
These hometown boys just like me too much, and I've had enough. They say that they like my outfit, or they like my smile, or they like my touch.
I think I like you, but maybe I don't. If I do, I won't admit it.
And I say no, no, no. You say please, please, please. I'm just not so sure. You say I might just be the one you're looking for. I know how your hometown boys can be. And it's not that you're not just a little bit cute, but if I said I liked you, it might just be the truth. And I can't tell you. These hometown girls just like me too much, and I've had enough.
that she likes my truck, or she likes my hair, or she likes my touch.
I think I like you, but maybe I don't. If I do, I won't admit it. And I say no, no, no. You say please, please, please. I'm just not so sure. You say I might just be the one you're looking for. I know how you hometown boys can be. And it's not that you're not just a little bit cute, but if I said I liked you, it might just be the truth. And I can't tell you. Oh, you're a bad, bad girl. Oh, you're a bad, bad boy. And I know how you hometown people are.
And I say no, no, no. You say please, please, please. I'm just not so sure. You say I might just be the one you're looking for.
I know how your hometown people can be. And it's not that you're not just a little bit cute, but if I said I liked you, it might just be the truth. And I can't tell you.
She is my good friend Trisha Marie. That is a great duet she did with her brother. It is called Hometown People, and I am sure loving that song. Well, the next artist that I'm getting ready to interview at the bottom half of this hour, Larry Cann, is from Australia. That is where he calls home, and we did it halfway across the world, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have that interview in just a few moments. Stick around. I got more great country music on the way. Before we get to the interview, how about this next gentleman? We are chatting back and forth right now live on Facebook Messenger. His name is Heath Clark. Heath Clark Music is where you can find him all over social media, and he's got a great tune here called Outside Looking In on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR Indie Country Radio, playing new country's best on this Indie Wednesday.
From the outside, whiskey and women on in, dancing, laughing, raising glasses sure look like living, but it's just an illusion wrapped in neon blue, my friend. But on the inside, it ain't all that pretty. Hey, don't believe me, they're not as happy as they pretend. Yeah, I've been there, so thank you, but no thank you. It's so much better on the outside looking in. Secondhand smoke and mirrors. Don't be lured in by honky-tonk siren song. On the outside, the truth is so much clearer. And if I had stayed there, I'd never done a good woman wrong. But on the inside, it ain't all that pretty. Hey, don't believe me, they're not as happy as they pretend. Yeah, I've been there, so thank you, but no thank you. It's so much better on the outside looking in. Yeah, I've been there, so thank you, but no thank you. It's so much better on the outside looking in.
Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Woo-hoo!
How happy are people who listen to the Tim Kelly Show's Indie Wednesday?
I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day!
Get happy. Get the Tim Kelly Show on KICR, Indie Country Radio.
Rum bum bum, it's an island thing. I'm plucking on a ukulele string under a beach umbrella, being a bum drinker. Rum bum bum, oh rum bum bum bum. Oh 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 oh. Hey. I got tired of the snow, so I've been saving up my PTO. I bought a round trip ticket, but I'm thinking I don't wanna go home. And maybe I won't, so here I am hanging by the sea, a little sunburned, buzzing like a bee. I'm usually a gin and tonic girl, but not in this part of the world. I'm tired of being a Tennessean, so I'ma be a Caribbean for the weekend, raising my glass, making a toast to the spirit of the southernmost. Hey, it's the spirit of the southernmost coast, and it goes rum bum bum, it's an island thing. I'm plucking on a ukulele string, a little zip zip zip, make me feel so jolly. I'm a pirate trapped in a tourist body, don't want no whiskey, wanna be namaste. Right here under a beach umbrella, being a bum drinking rum bum bum, oh rum bum bum bum. Yeah, here we go. Hey, 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 we got the captain and the Bacardi. You put the lime in the coconut and party. Marley playing on the radio, so the Grey Goose gotta go. You drink straight, you drink the fruity. You drink it till you're feeling fine and fun and groovy. I'm dancing in my flip-flops I got in the gift shop. Yeah, I'm really living like a local now. Still drum playing loud. Ooh, ooh, when it goes rum bum bum, it's an island thing. I'm plucking on a ukulele string, a little zip zip zip, make me feel so jolly. I'm a pirate trapped in a tourist body, don't want no whiskey, wanna be namaste. Right here under a beach umbrella, being a bum drinking rum bum bum, oh rum bum bum bum, rum bum bum, oh rum bum bum, rum bum 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 bum. That's all, folks.
Her name is Lauren Massetti. She is an American Idol alumni artist. That's what I'm trying to say. Her latest single out to radio right there is called Rum Pum Pum. And we have a radio interview booked. You can check out my full live radio interview schedule at the bottom of the homepage at KICR, IndieCountryRadio.com. I'm busy. I'm currently booked into December. But if you would like to be on the program, just send me an email to IndieCountryRadio@yahoo.com. Send at least 3 MP3s so we can get you on my Triple Play Thursday show, and I would love to talk about 3 songs that you have, so let's do that in the radio interviews as well. What do you say? Deal? All right. Easy. That was easy, wasn't it? This next gentleman has been a guest on my show before. He is from Golden, Colorado. His name is Jordan Nash, and this is called Taking It Back on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Indie Wednesday.
Making my way and I'm feeling like I want to stand for change and get this right. Close to the zone of sweet content, but now something here is just about to be like smooth as the way I roll. Shifting gear now, lights on how I'm gonna move, rise up beyond my way. Chances now, come on, let's go, let's roll. I I'm taking back this chance of mine. Freedom ring true rise of me and you. Yesterday I'm taking it back this time. On the road to find my way, setting the path and getting somewhere beyond today. On my way, I'm taking it back this time. Driving all night as the moonbeams light on beyond what's been now becoming bright. Feeling alone, no one to call on, just a shadow right here by my side. My eyes rise from the haze, getting clearer from each footstep. Chance and friends are on their way. They're coming fast and I'm ready for them. I'm taking back this chance of mine. Freedom ring true rise of me and you. Yesterday I'm taking it back this time. On the road to find my way, setting the path and getting somewhere beyond today. On my way I'm taking it back this time. Chance of a lifetime drawing near, already feel it in the air. Now's the time to move, switch this gear, drive this up to somewhere beyond here. Yeah, you're taking back this life of yours. This is it, don't let them undermine your way. Taking it back this time. Taking back this chance of mine. Freedom ring true rise of me and you. Yesterday I'm taking it back this time. I'm taking back this chance. Freedom ring true rise of me and you. Yesterday I'm taking it back this time. On the road to find my way, setting the path and getting somewhere beyond today. On my way, I'm taking it back this time. I'm taking it back this time.
In a world, there was one man, Tim Kelly, and there was only one radio station, Indie Country Radio.
In a smoky neon amber, I see her body's outline in the night. And somewhere in the darkness, I see her eyes sparkle back at mine. Well, you can't go home with me. Maybe we could find some place to go. It's 1 in the morning, baby. Still got 3 more sets to go. With 3 more sets to go, I'll be free till it's time to go home. And you're the kind of woman I'd like to keep from being all alone. I got a bottle of Jack Daniels, girl. Just give me one good reason to get stoned. It's 1 in the morning, baby. Still got 3 more sets to go. Said smoke, sense, whiskey, maybe had to get us through the night. And the girl in the corner, all she keeps right on giving me the eye. Said they're taking me to Nashville. It's just another hell where I could go. Well, it's 1 in the morning, baby. Still got 3 more sets to go. Well, 3 more sets to go. I'll be free till it's time to go home. And you're the kind of woman I'd like to keep from being all alone. I got a bottle of Jack Daniels, girl, so give me one good reason to get stoned. It's 1 in the morning, baby. Still got 3 more sets to go. Yes, it's 1 in the morning, sugar. Still got 3 more sets to go.
To the Tim Kelly Show on KICR, IndieCountryRadio.com. It is Indie Wednesday. I'm playing the best in new country music, and I've got a couple of great radio interviews today, so you get to hear the stories behind the songs. And I have Larry Cann with us from Australia. How are you, mate?
I'm doing really well, Tim. It's great to be on your show.
Great to be here with you as well. Thanks for doing the program. I appreciate the time. And we were talking before we got on the air about the big time difference that you have in Australia. So I know it's morning for you over there, evening over here for us, but I appreciate you taking the time to talk with us, and your songs are fantastic.
Well, thank you very much, and of course, very much influenced by the American country scene, and of course, my own experience living and working over in the United States through the 90s anyway, so that's why a lot of my songs have a real 90s country feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you grew up on the pro rodeo circuit, too. You're a real cowboy, so that's awesome.
Yeah, that's right. I suppose if I haven't lived the lyric, then I'm telling a lie. So
yeah. Well,
so pretty much, if I don't know about it or I haven't lived it, I won't sing about it.
Right. A couple of months ago, you found me, and it was like 1:30 in the morning because of the big time difference, and we started messaging back and forth, and you sent me some great music, and we booked this interview. I'm glad to have you on. Folks are going to love your music, and we call these interviews the stories behind the songs, so we'll talk about the stories here in a little bit. But you grew up on a farm in Chinchilla. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it was just, we were sharecroppers, I guess is what you'd call it in the United States. We call them share farmers. But we basically, it was a mix between cattle and farming. And we also grew, besides wheat, barley, and sorghum, we also grew watermelons as well. We were one of the inaugural families in the district of Chinchilla, which is called Darling Downs, is the greater district part of it. And anyway, we were one of the first families to grow watermelons, along with a neighbouring family called the Dickmans and the Sturgises. That was sort of the big three. And ironically, every couple of years they have a big watermelon festival in Chinchilla to this day, actually. And that was the sort of start of it. But my dad was a horse breaker, and he rodeoed for a long time. Mum and Dad both made the national finals rodeo here in Australia. Never got the chance to rodeo overseas, but I guess they planted that seed within me just as a young boy, and I always dreamed about competing in the United States, and I was fortunate enough to do that, firstly with a rodeo scholarship to Powell, Wyoming, to Northwest College, just outside of Cody, and from there, yeah, just rodeoed extensively through Wyoming, Montana, through the Dakotas a little bit, quite a bit in Oklahoma too while I was there for a year, finishing off my music degree, and sort of that was the thing. The lifestyle tied in with my music love, and obviously it's came up trumps with the lyrics that I write these days as well.
Yeah, that is awesome. You talk about planting that seed. You probably planted some watermelon seeds too. We just actually finished a watermelon. I need to go get another one. I love it.
Nothing better than a good sweet watermelon.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talking about sharecroppers, we like to share country music on this program, and we're excited to share some of yours. I am going to have a great time talking about your 3 songs tonight. So, yeah, that is awesome. And I'll tell you what, not only the time change is different than in Australia, but the weather, too. You're probably wrapping up wintertime right about now, aren't you, over there?
Yeah, that's right, but we're pretty lucky up in Queensland on the eastern side to the North State. I guess we very rarely get any even hints of snow. So if we get maybe 2 weeks of frost in the morning, that's a pretty cold winter for us. So so we don't complain too much, and mostly our days, usually I'm going to try and do the conversion, usually get back up to about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, so 20 degrees Celsius in the British scale. So you know, it generally is pretty nice days and coolish nights, but it's only because our houses aren't insulated.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's different.
You can always add blankets, apparently.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I get our electric bill, and I wished our house was insulated better sometimes, too. But, yeah, here in Missouri, I'm in Branson, Missouri, of course. They call this the live show capital of the world. The weather can change here in a heartbeat, overnight.
That sounds like the old Montana days when I was there in the 90s. It was wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always wanted to go to Queensland for some reason and see that. Now, is that the country they call the Outback or what?
Well, pretty much as soon as you get west of our Great Dividing Range that goes all the way up the east coast, pretty much I think that's nearly, you could almost put like a penciled line in there that from any part west is of that line is pretty much the Outback, and it just, you know, big spaces, you know, massive properties. Once you get out a little bit further west than where I'm from, the coast, I'm about probably the way the bird flies, about 2 hours straight west of the actual Queensland coast, on the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, in a little town called Kingaroy, famous for peanuts, ironically. And these days, that's where I'm living. But, you know, go another 2 hours west, and the properties get a lot bigger, and the spaces are a lot flatter, probably. And yes, it's you know, it's a very, very vast country, and you don't realise that Australia, in a landmass, if you don't count Alaska in the mix with the United States size, we're actually pretty much the same size as the main portion of the United States. If you don't count Alaska, that's how big Australia is. So we can drive in Queensland. You can drive. Basically 2 days and still be in the state.
Wow. That's about like Texas over here.
Texas on steroids.
Yeah.
They tell us Queensland's 3 times the size of Texas.
Wow. You got to pack a lunch to go across, don't you?
A couple.
Speaking of Outback, there are some Outback steakhouses over here in the United States. Maybe you've ate at one when you were over here, and I could swear a voice just like yours does their commercials.
Yes, I did actually enjoy a little steak at the Outback Steakhouse in Tulsa, actually, the one year that I was there.
Wow, how about that? I lived in Oklahoma for 20 years. I was about 2 hours from Tulsa, down in the southeast part of the state, in Ada, where Blake Shelton grew up.
Oh, there you go. Well, I was in Claremore, so I got my music degree at the Hank Thompson School of Country Music. In 1991, I graduated at Claremore, Oklahoma.
Is that right? I've been to Claremore many times. I used to sell insurance a long time ago all over the state of Oklahoma, and of course I was licensed in 6 states, so I traveled a lot and been to Claremore a bunch. So that's awesome. Small world, eh?
It definitely is. It gets smaller every day,
Yeah,
I swear.
absolutely. Well, you got a great music scene over there in Australia. I get a lot of artists from Australia, music-wise, and I've interviewed quite a few. You're not the first one I've talked to on this program from Australia. And I know the great Keith Urban probably resonated with you in the world of country music. He's fantastic from over there.
Oh, most definitely. And his family actually lives about maybe an hour and a half from me, I guess, at the town of Caboolture, Queensland. So they're not that far away. And so I mean, when he does come back to Australia to visit, generally he'll make a trek back up to his parents, of course, and to Caboolture. And he's been a great what would you call it, a jet setter really, and the guy that made a big difference to allow Australian artists to get noticed in the United States and on the international music scene. So we got to give him credit where credit's due, and the background story of it, to have a bit of a laugh about the whole deal, is if he did muck up and got himself in all sorts of trouble, we just say he's from New Zealand, because that's where he was born.
Okay, there you go. And I'll tell you what, he did open up a lot of doors for a lot of people, you know, in the world of country music. But let me ask you this now, other than Keith Urban, who resonated with you so much in the world of country music that made you want to do something in it?
Well, being the cowboy, I guess, ironically, originally it was Chris Ledoux, and that was because of the rodeo influence. I come across him when I was just a young fella in the 80s. I picked up a few of his old cassette tapes, and anyway, from there, it was kind of funny doing the rodeo songs. I started to really love country music through that mid-'80s period when Dwight Yoakam first came on the scene, Randy Travis, and then I went to this little record store, and they had a cassette stand sort of thing there, and I saw this fella in a cowboy hat. Didn't know who he was from iota on this cassette, and I just bought it for the sake of it. And I thought, I'll have a listen to it. And it turned out it was George Strait, and it was his number 7 album. So it was the one with "It Ain't Cool to Be Crazy About You" on there, and those type of songs. And so then I just become a massive George Strait fan, and obviously living there in the US, in Montana and Wyoming and those regions, I fell in love with, Clint Black and obviously Garth through the 90s, through his dominating years, and there were so many great artists, Tracy Lawrence, and they were a big influence on me too. But then when I went back to songwriting, it was more about, let's write about what I've actually witnessed and lived. So let's put that down in song.
That is awesome. I just was looking on Google before we got on the radio today, and I was seeing that Garth and Trisha, his wife, Trisha Yearwood, have just opened up a venue in Nashville called Friends in Low Places. Pretty cool venue, I bet.
I'd imagine so. They've probably got a few friends in that part of the world too.
He said that's kind of an anthem song for the working folks, the just the regular people. We all have those friends that, like to get out there and drink and dance and have a good time and listen to great music and great country music. And, and you probably have some of that in Australia too, where folks can go and hear some live music.
Oh, for sure. And there's getting to be more and more that country music has really grown in its popularity, obviously, and a lot in tribute to Keith Urban too. But just the fact that they've been bringing out some of the biggest artists here lately. We had a Luke Combs Stadium tour that was sold out. It was the first country artist ever to do that.
Wow.
Recently, and Lainey Wilson was out here last year. She's already announced that she's coming back in 2026. We've got quite a few others that are popping over. Riley Green came over for a little short stint, and the list goes on. We had Thomas Rhett was over. He was one of the headliners at CMC Rocks, which is one of our biggest festivals we have, that is more specifically the international artist. Cody Johnson came through with a massive sold-out tour run as well that incorporated New Zealand as well. So, just in the last couple of years, the international touring scene and getting to see some of those big artists from the United States here in Australia has been pretty cool, actually.
That is awesome. I was playing Lainey Wilson as an independent artist and Cody Johnson, and he's still, to this day, I think, is the only independent artist to sell out NRG Stadium down in Houston, Texas as an independent. And Lainey Wilson's Things a Man Ought to Know that just launched her career, and now she's doing quite well. And she's also dabbled in some acting in that TV series Yellowstone.
Yeah, and that sort of helped the whole country flavor, didn't it?
Yeah, sure enough. And I tell you what, she is doing quite well in the world of country music. Won CMA Entertainer of the Year a couple of years ago, and the females are just tearing it up right now too, aren't they?
Oh, definitely, and it's the female scene in country here in Australia has been big for quite a few years, and it's great to see a few of our younger fellas coming through the ranks now. We've got Wade Forster would be one, and James Johnson's another one that's doing some wonderful things, plus a couple of other duos that are around the place, and even Amy Shepherd from the pop group Shepherd. The actual pop group Shepherd from Australia are living in Nashville at the moment, and Amy's dabbling her toes into country music, and she's sort of got a bit of a similar style to Carrie Underwood. Probably not quite as strong of vocals as Carrie, but she's pretty easy to listen to.
That's awesome. You've got a great duet with a gentleman by the name of Cameron Cusack. Tell us who he is as well.
Well, that's a funny story. It goes way back to, I think we were trying to figure it out, as a matter of fact, Cameron and I. I think it was 2007, I think. I went down to Tamworth, the country music capital of Australia, and went to their yearly festival, which is in January, usually about the last sort of week or 10 days of January. And anyway, he was just a young artist. He was about 16 years of age, and I was doing sort of an artist meet and greet at a steakhouse, and anyway, the steakhouse organised for him to just sort of sing a few songs outside the front door as sort of like a greeter, basically. And I was impressed by him then, and we've always stayed in contact here and there, you know, from one year to the next. But as he grew up and found his own feet, he moved up into Queensland with me, but he's way further north than I am. And anyway, he knew that I'd went to the US in 2023 and did some songwriting, and he asked me, was there a song that might suit what he was doing? And I said, there's this pretty cool track called Craven Country that I wrote with expat Aussie Richie Scholl, who lives at Gallatin in Tennessee, just outside of Nashville.
I've been friends with him for years.
Yeah, so I have too. Even with his family, his dad used to come and catch up with me quite often while I was broadcasting along, sort of in his backyard where he grew up. So he'd keep me in contact with Richie. And anyway, I caught up with Richie and Julie there, and anyway, I stayed with them in the 10 days I was in Nashville, and basically we sat down and I had this idea for this Craven Country. You know, everything's getting too busy, and you know, we need to get out where the stars are bright and some bigger skies, and basically that's how Craven Country was born. I think it took us maybe I reckon flat to be an hour, and we wrote it from go to woe and put something down melodically, and anyway, I pitched it to Cameron. I said, look, I said this might be pretty cool, and we could even do this as a duo, I reckon, because it's such in line for a duo. And yeah, we put it together, and it really come up trumps for us, and we were lucky enough here in Australia, country radio, it went number one on I think two of the major charts, and ranked in the top 10 on two of the other ones out of 5 charts. So that was pretty cool. And and elevated his status back again because he's about to release a new album late September, I think his release date will be. And so it's sort of worked out good timing for us both, actually.
That is awesome. I'm going to put you on 3 radio charts after the playlist is done tonight with that song and your other 2 as well. And then we're going to put you out to 11 radio stations around the country and around the world because I'm sure you'll agree country music's universal, isn't it?
That's for sure. And, there's so many things that you can take from a good country song.
Yeah, absolutely. It resonates with tons of folks. And, I was going to tell you, too, and you mentioned it before we got on the air, speaking of doing some announcing, you also do that, and you're on several other radio stations. Tell us about what else you do.
Yeah, I work for Resonate Media in Australia, and I'm actually the network programmer, so I look after the AM classic hit station format plus the hot country format as well. So that keeps me in tune with what's going on in the country music world. And, and I try to stick to a pretty cool country format between the real top guns and some of the other great independents coming through. So it's a real mix. It's not just stuff pitched to me by the major record labels. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't work for me, then I won't play it. And, so I'd rather be somebody that has their own programming head on side and I think that's a whole lot of fun for me, and obviously it helps me too with what I'm developing in my own music world, I suppose. And between that, I'm also announcing a lot of bull rides and rodeos, and from my earlier sporting career, that was what it was all about, and it's easy for me to talk about it if that's the road that I've been running on.
Boy, you're exactly right, and the same for me. That independent country and these original songs, it's easy to talk about. I do many, many interviews in a week's time, and I never get tired of talking about country music and getting to hear these stories like you're telling behind the songs. It's just fun, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely, and just hearing the background behind the songs and behind the person themselves is so interesting.
That's what's missing in radio. When somebody's ears perk up to a song and they're going to research that artist and follow him on social media, and then these independents start building a fan base, then you get to that status of where Lainey Wilson is and Cody Johnson and some of these others that you mentioned. That's how it starts, though, isn't it?
Well, that's it, and it's doing those hard yards. Probably the hardest part is keeping up with all the social medias these days, and and just the attention span of the youngsters coming through isn't that long. So you've really got to make an impression very, very quickly. And so I suppose for us in a few generations difference, I guess it just that's what makes it hard for us to keep up with everything. But I still say that if it's a great song, it needs to be heard, and that's where we need to help each other.
Yep. You and me are probably of an age where you used to go to these record stores, and you could thumb through these album covers, and now vinyl's making a comeback. That's great to see. I've got a lot of vinyl here in the studio on my trophy case, and those are the ones that resonate with us still to this day, and you get to that point, they become classic, don't they?
Well, that's it, I think, too, and I mean, I suppose it was those roots of country music that grounded us in how we think about the music in our own love of the actual genre itself anyway. So we don't want to cross the lines too much. We can understand artists that it works for, but generally it'll work for one, but it won't work for too many other than that, because then the lines just get too much of a shuffle, I guess, and then you've just got to pull it back and find that main road again.
Well, let me ask you that too. At what point did you find your voice? Did you realize that you wanted to sing?
Funny thing that I used to sing quite a bit when I was in the United States. I had a band in Montana called Silver Creek for about 7 years. We played around sort of southern Montana and northern Wyoming, and from there, I had a bull kick me in the face while I was wasn't obviously he bucked me off, and he come down with his foot and broke my nose quite badly, and the septum, the separator between your nostrils, basically it was V'd over, so it would sort of stop me from breathing through my nose. And anyway, I came home to Australia in 1999, and for basically 10 years I put the guitar away after that, and it was just too much of a struggle. I was announcing still, but on top of announcing all week, it was just too much for me to sing on top of it. And I kept getting, at the back end of those 10 years, I kept getting these throat infections. So I was just fortunate. I had a really good boss, and I went to a big music festival and was the MC and introduced everybody for 4 days, and I lost my voice by the last day, and then ended up with this really massive throat infection again. And I said to the boss, I said, I've got to do something about it. He said, what's wrong? And I said, I think I need to have this nose surgery that one of the specialists had told me about. And anyway, I said, it's an elective surgery, so you got to pay for it. And he said, oh, how much is it? And he said, well, if you think it's going to help, he said, book it in and I'll pay for it. So,
wow.
So my boss actually paid for that, and then after that, I was able to pull the guitar back out and then start singing again. So, and then probably the biggest reigniting of my music career was I've actually got to thank COVID. We had massive shutdowns over here in Australia where nothing was happening on weekends. So I was bored and a little bit depressed, obviously. Mental health was a big part of it. And, the little old guitar leaning up against the corner of the room, that was probably my savior, and started putting pen to paper. And ironically, the first song that I wrote right in the middle of COVID was The Battle, which is on the previous album to the new one that I have out called The Songsmith. But The Battle was basically how I set up the ride at a rodeo, for whether it's a rough stock event of bull riding, bareback bronc riding, or saddle bronc riding. And it's not the bulls or the broncs, it's actually the battle. It's the 8-second dream.
Yeah.
And I pretty much wrote down how I'd set it up, and yeah, it was pretty much my therapy while everything was shut down for quite a few months here in Australia.
Isn't that something, what music can do? And I talk about it all the time. There's even these young people that take music therapy in college courses and things like that, because that's exactly what it is. It's therapeutic. It helps you heal. It gets you over a sad time in your life, and it can bring back happy times and memories too when we go back and play those classic country albums on the vinyl and stuff like that, doesn't it?
Oh, most definitely. And like you said, country music is universal, and there's amazing how many types of different songs that you've got within the genre that can basically tell chapters of your life.
Yeah. You got a lot in common with the gentleman I interviewed a little over a year ago. His name's Moe Bandy. You probably know of him, and he lives over here in Branson West. I didn't know he was that close to me, but he was on the rodeo circuit too back in the day, and that's where he kind of got tore up by bull riding, and he wanted to do something a little bit longer that lasts longer than 8 seconds, so he got into country music as well.
Well, I'll have to send it to you. One of my actual lucky enough songs to record is actually Moe Bandy's hit "Till I'm Too Old to Die Young" that did very well on the Australian country charts here. And I've been a big fan of Moe's for a long time, and obviously I knew Moe and his brother Mike that just got inducted into the Bull Riders Hall of Fame, I believe, here in the last session, I think. And Mike, his brother, was a national finals bull rider back in the 70s, early 80s. So there you go.
Small world, like I said. And yeah, I love his Bandy the Rodeo Clown, man. That's just a neat song.
It certainly is.
Well, I'll tell you what, the people are craving country right now, so we're going to play Larry Cann and Cameron Cusack, I'm Craving Country, and then we'll come back and talk to him some more. Thanks for doing this tonight on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Indie Wednesday.
watching the clock on another day of deadlines. Coffee calls with more work piling on. The city's too damn busy. I just need an escape. Less busy's calling me to another landscape. The city life moves way too fast with everybody trying to go their way. Don't know how much I can stand all this concrete every day. I need to see more stars at night, less billboards and those neon lights. I know just where I need to be. 'Cause I'm craving country. Yes, I am. What you think, Larry?
Close my eyes to another place of freedom, where mountains and trees reach way up beyond the sky. Need some room to move and some cleaner air to breathe, and a sweet cowgirl who wants to spend her whole life with me. City life moves way too fast with everybody trying to go their way. Don't know how much I can stand all this concrete every day. I need to see more stars at night and less billboards and those neon lights. I know just where I need to be. I'm craving country. Need to see more stars at night, less billboards and those neon lights. I know just where I need to be. I'm craving country. I'm craving country. We're craving country. Well, Cam, what do you think?
Oh, what you thinking, Larry?
Should we load up the rods?
I think that's about right.
Let's get off this lane and head on down a dirt road.
Down that old two-lane.
Let's go drown a worm.
Let's see some beer.
I think it's time for some fishing. See you soon, world.
His name is Larry Cann, and that is a great duet with Cameron Kuzak. I'm Craven Country. You guys nailed that one. Good job.
Yeah, no, I had a whole lot of fun with it, and ironically, there's that little back and forth banter there at the end of the song that's just a little bit of fun, tongue-in-cheek stuff. You would think we were standing right next to each other in the studio. Would you believe we were about 1,000 miles away?
Isn't that something? I love that. You know, I've talked to people that have done that, you know, duets, and they just do their part, and the other person does theirs, and they mix and master it, and they're not even together. You know, it's pretty cool.
Well, to get that banter to make it sound so natural, it was just really, really funny. It's like I threw in, I recorded my little bit firstly, and then we sent it up to Cam to do his bit, and he said, "Oh, I'll just work around that." And for it to come out as smooth as it did, we had a good chuckle at it. So everybody said, "Oh, you guys sounded really good in the studio."
That is awesome.
We were about 1,000 miles away.
Man, that is cool. Now, you were telling me off the air, too, that you had the privilege to interview the late, great Toby Keith as one of your radio interviews on the other end of the spectrum. You're getting interviewed tonight by me, but that had to be a dream.
It really was. There was when he initially said that he was coming to Australia, and this would be at least 12, maybe closer to 15 years ago, and he only gave out 2 interviews. There was one to myself and one to another big-time radio announcer that's more famous for his talk show, abilities, John Laws. So to be able to be in that fine sort of little group, it was really, really cool. And got to interview the legend himself, Toby Keith, and that was one of my all-time favorite interviews. In what's been a pretty cool career in country music. With the very first interview I did was with Jody Messina while I was paneling at Cat Country KCTR in Billings, Montana, and that was for one of the St. Jude's Radiothons fundraisers.
How about that? I played her as an independent artist here back in about, I think, 2019. She started her own independent record label. It's called Dreambound Records, and she charted 9 number ones with Curb Records, a major record label. But she's just fantastic. I love everything she does. She's just got a unique voice that you don't hear anybody ever sound like her.
Yeah, that is for sure, and that's what makes a difference. And I suppose that these days, with a lot of people sounding very similar to others, that's the one point of difference that a lot of record companies are looking for, is that individuality of a vocal strain.
Yeah, absolutely. And now they've got this AI technology, and I'm getting a lot of stuff that you got to distinguish. Is this AI or is this a real artist that we're going to promote? You know, I love hearing the original stuff, and that's what people want to hear, and they want to see you in a live show. In fact, the reason they go to live shows is to see how close you sound on the radio to that, right?
Well, that's it. And I've noticed a few people now, they'll put like their vocal mixes through even on the live shows because they're too critical about how they sound live. And, well, you know, a lot of what live music is all about, you know. It's not supposed to be perfect.
Right, exactly. And yours is, though, man, your stuff here that we got is great. I love these next 2 songs. Let's talk about Rides to Remember and then Keeping It Real as well.
All right, Rides to Remember. Well, that was just a flat-out song that we come up with this idea. Scott Barrier, who's a great writer that's based in Nashville, he's wrote for many artists, including quite a few Aussies as well. They've collaborated when they've visited Nashville. And Scott's done a lot of writing for some of the Texas artists too, as he was telling me while we were in the session. We did 2 songwriting sessions together, and this was the second time we caught up. We wrote Cowboy's Hands, which is another song that's on the new album, The Songsmith, and this one, Rides You Want to Remember. And we'd already planted the seed about this Rides You Want to Remember going into after the initial songwriting session we had together. And anyway, I said, let's see if we can do a new Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up type of feel. And I said it was Cowboy Christmas was just starting, which is obviously late June, sort of from Reno, the big Reno rodeo, right through then to the end of the Calgary Stampede, up to Cheyenne, if you want to put it that way, through the July 4th run. It's where there's rodeos all over the United States and Canada, and you know, that's why they call it Cowboy Christmas. If you can cash in, it can be Christmas for quite a few months. If you can have a really good sort of 2-3 weeks on the rodeo run, if your body can handle it. And obviously that's a big if in a lot of cases, especially if you're a bull rider. But if you can get a chunk of the change, well, you know, that's what it's all about. And we wanted to really get that feel that you're always in a hurry through Cowboy Christmas because you got to get on down the road. So let's go flat out and talk about the rides you want to remember.
That is awesome. And the story behind Keeping It Real, tell us that one.
Well, Keeping It Real was it was a lovely songwriting session. It was in Richie Shull's tour bus. Actually, it had a beautiful, lovely lady, Lynn Wilbanks, came over. We didn't actually have a room to ride in. She was doing some renos at her place, and anyway, she came over to us, and I said, "Oh well, let's ride in the tour bus." And so we locked ourselves away, I guess, and Lynn's wrote for many over the years, including Dolly Parton, with 1 or 2 of her songs in previous years, and just hearing the inspiration that she was about family and trying to be the best person you can be. And I guess that was sort of the backbone to Keeping It Real. And she said, "Tell me about you, Larry." And so we said, "Oh, well, you know, Dad was this and Mum was that. So, okay, well, let's do a verse on Dad, verse on Mum. And because I had this idea about keeping it real and making it right. You know, that's the basis of the whole song. I had the line, the catchphrase, and then we got through the first two verses and got the chorus sort of written. And then she said, there's always that one teacher you remember that believes in you that when you don't even believe in yourself. And that pretty much is that third verse, and then we wrap it up. But it's a song that's done really well for me here in Australia, and I guess it's got a very catchy steel guitar lick in it as well. That helps as it travels along. And I said to my producer, Michael and Caleb Flanders, who are both Aussies that live just outside of Nashville, as they created the song, I said, I've got that feel in my mind that it's sort of like that Just to See You Smile song from the 90s from Tim McGraw. It was the number one song on radio back in 1998, and from his Everywhere album. And anyway, I said, I think you can sort of do that shuffle along like that, and it'll just travel along and tell this story really nicely about, the guidance of family and the guidance of that teacher or close friend, if you wanted to change it to a different sort of walk of life, that believed in you, and it was just keeping it real and making it right that made you the person that you become.
Wow. Boy, you have to have people that believe in you to do this, isn't it? It's not easy, and you're probably a family man. I know you said you have children that live over here in the States, and having that kind of support and the people you've got in your corner, that's what keeps you going, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely, and that's the one thing social media does help. It keeps it easy to keep in contact with the kids that are making their own worlds and lives in the United States. I have the daughter in Texas. She's studying at college at Blinn at the moment in the middle of the state of Texas, and then you got the boys. One's traveling. He's a bull rider in Montana, and he's based out of Billings, and then the other eldest son, well, he's sort of a top salesman and a real people person at Shield Sports Store in Missoula, Montana, at the top of the Bitterroot Valley. So, he's doing well. And as a matter of fact, I'm excited in September. Lane, and my eldest son, and his wife Naomi, and my little granddaughter, they're coming over to Australia all together for the first time, and they're going to meet their great-grandparents. So it's and little Emily is my first grandchild, but also my mum and dad's first great-grandchild, and they're pretty excited.
That is awesome.
I believe we'll see each other about the 14th of September.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you ever get anywhere near Branson, Missouri, hit me up and we'll definitely get together. I'd love to meet you in person and to hear more of your stories. You're a great storyteller and a great artist as well. Thank you, Larry, for doing the show tonight.
Well, thanks for putting me on, and of course, if anybody wants to check me out, the online web address is larrycanmusic.com, and can is spelt C-A-N-N, so 2 N's. And so it's not the tin can, just throw on an extra N on the end of it. So larrycanmusic.com. And you'll find Larry Can Music on Facebook and, Instagram, and all those socials are pretty much Larry Can Music. So keep up to date with whatever I'm doing, and I'll be visiting my U.S. friends as soon as I can.
Well, thank you so much for that. And that was going to be my last question on social media. We do love social media, and I'm going to promote you like crazy on this program. And after this interview is over, it's going to end up in the Tim Kelly Show interview archive, so folks can go back and listen to it off my website, and it's also downloadable for you if you want to share it on your socials as well. I appreciate the time tonight. You got some great stories and some great songs.
Thanks, Tim, and keep it country.
You're welcome. Larry Can. This is called Ride You Want to Remember. Ride You Want to Remember on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Indie Wednesday.
Having Bronx and Bulls for breakfast, like a shot of straight black coffee. Cowgirls and cowboys, loaded up and chasing the money. All across the heartland, from Alberta to Texas. Bright lights and grandstands, the excitement of Cowboy Christmas. It's a must-win if you want to stay in. It's guts and glory that keeps you going. Ride one, rope one, get the time, make a run back behind the wheel, and then you get going. Every ride's a gamble where you pay to play. Man against beast, the hunger to compete in a world of dirt and blood and leather. Rain, hail, or sunny or weather. Taking rides you wanna forget, and rides you wanna remember. Two hearts, three drums, fastest horse on four legs. Hold on tight, grip the rope, go for broke or you'll be broke. It's pedal to the metal, it's a luck of the draw. Flags flying, crowd cheering, tip your hat when you win it all. Ride one, rope one, get the time, make a run back behind the wheel, and then you get going. Every ride's a gamble where you pay to play. Man against beast, the hunger to compete in a world of dirt and blood and leather. Rain, hail, or sunny or weather. Taking rides you wanna forget, and rides you wanna remember. Flat out like a lizard drinking, it's a hell of a way to make a living. Ride one, rope one, get the time, make a run back behind the wheel, and then you get going. Every ride's a gamble where you pay to play. Man against beast, the hunger to compete in a world of dirt and blood and leather. Rain, hail, or sunny or weather. Taking rides you wanna forget, and rides you wanna remember. Taking rides you wanna forget, and rides you wanna remember. Rides you wanna remember. Rides you wanna remember.
Another hour of the best in new country starts now. On Indie Country Radio, New Country's best.
Dad, the straight shooter, born of the land, farmer who would wait on the rain. When he was down on his luck, he wouldn't let it show. He'd crack a smile, keep working just the same. Mom, the mind reader, pillar of our home, held a family reign that grew within our hearts. When we made mistakes, she'd let us live it through. Those learning steps made us who we are. By keeping it real, making it right, lending a hand to a shining light, planting seeds with no chance of rain, faith in God to help share the strength, make a difference, change your life, had that teacher who believed in us, saw something we couldn't see ourselves. They give us a map to that mountain we climb, to a place we will never forget. By keeping it real, making it right, lending a hand to a shining light, planting seeds with no chance of rain, faith in God to help shed the strength, make a difference, change your life, keeping it real, making it right, keeping it real, making it right, just keep it real, make it right.
His name is Larry Cann. That is C-A-N-N on his last name. Larry Cann Music, if you want to find him all over social media. And thank you for a great radio interview all the way from Australia, Larry Cann. And we became really good friends and really got to be acquainted in that long interview that we did tonight. Man, that was great. And I appreciate your time, Larry. I know you are a busy man as well. And he is growing watermelons. He's doing country radio. He got a chance to interview the great late Toby Keith. Man, he's got a lot of good stuff going on, and the music is top notch. I can definitely say New Country's best behind his music. Go check out Larry Cann and tell him you heard him right here on the Tim Kelly Show. Welcome to hour number 3 of the show. We've got more great country music on the way, and State Line Saints, Michael from State Line Saints, has been hanging out with us over here on TikTok at Tim Kelly on Air the whole show. It's time to play his song. They are from Mississippi, and this is called Can't Go Back to Tupelo from State Line Saints on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR Indie Country Radio, New Country's best on an Indie Wednesday.
There's a rusted sign where the city line used to be, like a welcome home that ain't meant for me. I left with fire, thought I'd light up the world, burn bridges behind, chasing some girl. Mama's house is boarded and the porch light's gone. That old oak tree still stands, but the shade feels wrong. The diner's still there, but the jukebox won't play. And the girl I left's got another man's name. You can roll down 70, 80s off the gas, pull into town and feel the past. But no matter how slow you take it, bro, you can't go back to Tupelo. Some places hold you, some let go, and some bury pieces you'll never know. Used to think time would heal what I'd done, but ghosts don't fade, they just ride shotgun. I walked past the chapel, heard a hymn through the wall. Same preacher, new faces, no one knew me at all. I carved my name in that river mud, swore I'd never drown, but I damn near was. Now I'm just a shadow in my hometown life, a name on a tombstone that's still alive. You can chase the past, but it won't slow. You can knock on doors, but they won't open. No, but you can't go back to Tupelo. It don't hate you, it just don't know. The man who left all those years ago. I turned around at the county line, left Tupelo behind one last time.
Great country tunes on the radio.
Get it. Today's country.
I love absolutely every single song they play.
This station is dangerously good.
This is Today's Country.
I like the music.
I like the DJs. There's even more to like.
I like everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
More of today's new country now.
I love the music.
You're listening to KICR Indie Country Radio, syndicated worldwide, playing new country's best.
Now this is my kind of country.
New country.
New country.
New country.
Every night when I lay down to sleep, my mind is north on 65. Up the interstate to Tennessee, looking for the Nashville sign. When somewhere in the distance a spotlight hits the stage, and a crowd starts to roar, and a band begins to play. The lights Nashville keep haunting me. In my dreams each night they shine on me. So I cross the stage and start to sing. I feel the heat on my face, and I believe it is my destiny. And even though it might be just a dream, you know that's where I'm gonna be. The lights in Nashville keep haunting me. Grab some beer on my way home from work. Help me get to sleep at night. Play my guitar until my fingers hurt. Drift off sometime before daylight. Then somewhere in the distance I see a spotlight hit the stage, and the crowd starts to roar, and a band begins to play. The lights of Nashville keep haunting me. In my dreams each night they shine on me. As I cross the stage and start to sing, I feel the heat on my face, and I believe it is my destiny. And if it takes all that's left of me, you know that's where I'm gonna be. The lights in Nashville keep haunting me. Oh, yeah. Those lights are like a ghost burning in my mind, always there but just out of my reach, shining on all I've missed and all I hope to find. When I wake up and they're shining on me, and I believe it is my destiny, even though it might be just a dream. You know that's where I'm gonna be. The lights in Nashville keep haunting me.
That is a brand new single out to radio from my good friend John McDuffie. It is called Lights of Nashville. He wrote that song several years ago, but he's just now releasing it to radio, and we got it for tonight's show on this Indie Wednesday. Thank you, John McDuffie. That song is fantastic. And we were just talking, me and Wes Ryan, you guys are going to hook up at the end of the month in Nashville. So I wanted him to tell you hello and tell him the Tim Kelly Show sent you a big hello, and we are a fan of your music, man. Keep making the great country music. Absolutely love it. This next talented young lady and I had the pleasure of doing her very first radio interview. She is from Chesney Park, Illinois, and my good friend McKenna Faith Winters. Her latest single out to radio is called I Plant My Own. Show from KICR Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on this Indie Wednesday.
You made up your mind. I'm not gonna go home and cry, even though that's what you thought I'd do. Funny how life goes on. Me and you will both move on. I'll never say that I never loved you, 'cause you used to be my plus one at boring weddings. Kiss me on the cheek when the sun was setting. Had her little spot, now I sit here all alone. Used to be my midnight talk for hours. Hold the umbrella in the summer showers. Used to be the one to bring me flowers, but now I plant my Guess it was my fault. I shouldn't have put all my happiness in your hands. But all of this made things clearer. I see a stronger girl in the mirror, but that don't mean it doesn't make me sad. 'Cause you used to be my plus one at boring weddings. Kiss me on the cheek when the sun was setting. Had her little spot, now I sit here all alone. Used to be my midnight talk for hours. Hold the umbrella in the summer showers. Used to be the one to bring me flowers, but now I plant my I don't even like roses, but I never would have told you that. If you ever come around again, you'll find the sunflowers out back. You used to be my plus one at boring weddings. Kiss me on the cheek when the sun was setting. Had her little spot, now I sit here all alone. Used to be my midnight talk for hours. Hold the umbrella in the summer showers. Used to be the one to bring me flowers, but now I plant my but now I plant my now I plant my own.
Party till we drop.
It's always a party.
Just partying it up.
Your country party is here all summer.
It's summertime.
Crank up the AC, because things are heating up.
No, seriously, turn up the AC or the shirt's coming off. You don't want to see this dad bod.
Turning up the summer country right now.
Every single summer I wonder if you think about me.
Your summertime station is Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best.
I'm casting a glow on Broadway stretch where the dreamers go. Robert's Western, doors open wide. Step on in, leave your cares outside. PBR's cold, the griddle's hot. Fried bologna's the best thing they've got. At Robert's Western Bar, where the legends play, steel guitars cry and fiddles sway. Pull up a stool, don't have to look far. The heart of Nashville's in Robert's Bar. Boots tap time on a hardwood floor. The ghosts of Haggard, Williams, and more. Cowboy hats nod to a lonesome tune under a Tennessee crescent moon. The jukebox hums when the band takes five. It's a honky-tonk where country's alive. At Robert's Western Bar, where the legends play, steel guitars cry and fiddles sway. Pull up a stool, don't have to look far. The heart of Nashville's in Robert's Bar. The stories rise in the smoky air. Dreams are born and broken there. A slice of life, a cold PDR, fried bologna under the stars. At Robert's Western Bar, where the legends play, steel guitars cry and fiddles sway. Pull up a stool, don't have to look far. The heart of Nashville's in Robert's Bar. The heart of Nashville's in Robert's Bar.
That is one of the latest singles from my good friend Rick Stone. Rick Stone Music is where you can find him on social media. It is called Robert's Western Bar. My name is Tim Kelly. We have raised the bar in the way country music should sound, and it is sounding real good tonight on this Indie Wednesday. Let's keep it going. This next artist is Pepper Brooks. Pepper Brooks Music, if you want to find him on social media. Can't Nobody Love You Like a Cowboy on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR. Indie Country Radio, New Country's best on this Indie Wednesday.
This old crazy world can get you down. You know who you can wrap your arms around. Baby, if you lay your trust on me, you never have to want for anything. Can't nobody love you like a cowboy. Can't nobody hold you like I can. I'll be tender when you need a shoulder, tough as nails. You need boulder, the calm that gives you shelter from the noise. Can't nobody love you like a cowboy. I will be the sunset in your eyes. Sing to you the sweetest lullabies. I'll tame the thunder when the storm's rolling. Take your hard places it ain't ever been. Can't nobody love you like a cowboy. cowboy.
Howdy, folks. This is Rick Trevino, and you're listening to the Tim Kelly Show, syndicated worldwide, playing you country tracks.
I'll take Jim Beam and I'll take Jack, Johnny Walker along with any of that. I like beer if it's cold or hot, and I like drinks if they come in a shot. Just ask my exes and they will say I can stay up all night and party all day. I like cars and I like trucks. I like girls that like to wail. I like drinking all day long, and I like Randy Houser songs. Ain't nothing ever gonna change me. I like my women like I like my whiskey. I'll take a blonde or I'll take a brunette. It doesn't matter just as long as it's wet. Don't like them too tall, too short, or too skinny. But all my favorite ones, I've had plenty. I tried to stay sober with no flaws. Had many women leave me just because. I like cars and I like trucks. I like girls that like to wail. I like drinking all day long, and I like Maureen Walden songs. Ain't nothing ever gonna change me. I like my women like I like my whiskey. I've had many women leave me just because. I like cars and I like trucks. I like girls that like to wail. I like drinking all day long, and I like all Kid Rock songs. Kid Rock. Ain't nothing ever gonna change me. I like my women like I like my whiskey. Ooh, yeah.
You know, I like Kid Rock songs too, but I like Tracy Inman songs as well. That is called I Like My Women Like I Like My Whiskey. Tracy is Tracy, just like Tracy Bird. It is Tracy Inman, Inman. Go check him out all over social media and like his song right there, just like I do. It is fantastic. And we're going to do a great live interview one of these days as well. That full interview schedule at the bottom of the homepage at KICR, IndieCountryRadio.com. This next artist was recently on my show. You know why cowboys drive pickup trucks? Because girls like them. That's the title of this song. Girls that drive trucks, they like them too. Sean Lee Stamps on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on an Indie Wednesday.
Give me your old man in a barber shop, drinking cokes and telling lies. My grandma in the kitchen, slicing up an apple pie. Here's the rodeos at the county fair, coffee when the sun comes up, and girls that drive trucks, the kind that put their jeans on tight, a little mud on her boots, hat down around her eyes with a trace of sweet perfume. She'll sit with you on the tailgate when you're down on your luck. Love those girls that drive trucks. Give me little kids dropping pennies in. They often played at church. Clothes dancing on the lines, leaving summer on your shirt. Hats off to every country boy who couldn't help but fall in love with girls that drive trucks. The kind that put their jeans on tight, a little mud on perfume. She'll sit with you on the tailgate when you're down on your luck. Love those girls that drive trucks. If you wanna hold her when the day is done, kiss beneath the setting sun, boy, you'll have to ride shotgun. She'll sit with you on the tailgate when you're down on your luck. Love those girls that drive trucks. Love those girls that drive trucks.
You're listening to Tim Kelly on Indie Country Radio.
You work from sun up to sundown, same routine, same old sound, just putting in the hours to pay your bills. You give an inch, they take a mile, march on and stay and file. You know, it's a damn shame and it sure ain't okay. But when I feel like giving up at the end of the day, I think of blue eyes on a summer night in the back 49, a cloud in the sky, just cuddle close, listening to that radio. Grandma's homegrown, cooking a ham on a stove, a pie baking in the oven, waiting on her to call us in, yelling supper's done. Yeah, when life gets me down and I need a pick-me-up, that's what I think of. The way things are going now makes you wonder if we'll ever get out of this dumpster fire we put ourselves in. Yeah, the price of things just keep going up. You close your eyes and you can't keep up with the cost of living rising high again. But when I feel I'm at my wit's end, I think of blue eyes on a summer night in the back 49, a cloud in the sky, just cuddle close, listening to that radio. Grandma's homegrown, cooking a ham on a stove, a pie baking in the oven, waiting on her to call us in, yelling supper's done. Yeah, when life gets me down and I need a pick-me-up, I think of warm and sunny days and living in the USA, and little brown puppies clinging to their mama, a gold-banded wedding ring, and hearing them old church bells singing, the sound of children laughing. And I think of blue eyes on a summer night in the back 49, a cloud in the sky, just cuddle close, listening to that radio. Grandma's homegrown, cooking a ham on a stove, a pie baking in the oven, waiting on her to call us in, yelling supper's done. Yeah, when life gets me down and I feel like giving up, that's what I think of. That's what I think of.
Eddie Johnson. Eddie Johnson Music, if you want to check him out all over social media. He is awesome, 19 years young, and a great tune right there. His latest single out to radio actually releases on September the 1st, I believe. We got it first, so we're going to play it. He said we was okay with that, and absolutely love that. It is called What I Think Of. What I think of when I think of Eddie Johnson is pure country music talent. Go give him a like and a follow, and I sure look forward to our upcoming interview later on in the very near future. I recently had an interview with this next artist. He is from north of the border in Canada, my good friend Jason Price. Jason Price Music on social media. This is called 24/6 on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on an Indie Wednesday.
Most nights I sit here alone, my favorite stool, drinking straight Patron. It's better than being home alone, or so they tell me. A lady out for a little fun locked eyes with me, and I didn't run. She sat next to me and asked, so what's your story? And I told her, I've been in love till death did us part, and that just doesn't break your heart. It kills a piece. For that, there ain't no cure. She gave a girl and boy to me. I had a rich man's family, and I'd give every piece, everything I own, to have her back with me. So before you ask me for a dance in the hopes of finding some romance, and we find ourselves just a few years down the road, there's a piece of her that lives in me, and that's just the way it'll always be. So if you accept that just the way it is, I could love you 24/6. So I rambled on. I must have talked through 7 songs about all the things we used to do when she was here. Like on Sundays we'd go for our walks after church to our favorite spot, and I still go there and pray I feel her dancing around me. So before you ask me for a dance in the hopes of finding some romance, and we find ourselves just a few years down the road, there's a piece of her that lives in me. It's just the way it'll always be. So if you accept that just the way it is, love you 24/6. I know she's not here, but there's times I swear where I can feel her right beside me. So before you ask me for a dance in the hopes of finding some romance, and we find ourselves just a few years down the road, there's a piece of her that lives in me. That's just the way it'll always be. So if you accept that just the way it is, if you accept that just the way it is, I could love you 24/6.
it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
How happy are people who listen to the Tim Kelly Show's Indie Wednesday?
I'd say happier than a camel on Wednesday.
Hump day?
Get happy. Get the Tim Kelly Show on KICR, Indie Country Radio.
I've always dreamed about faraway places, snow-covered mountains and white sandy beaches, 5-star hotels and a $10 million view. I've always had it in the back of my mind that someday I'd walk the streets of Paris at night, sip on a latte in a cozy cafe, thousands of miles away. If I could go anywhere I've never been, I'd take a trip around the globe and back again. I still wouldn't trade it for where I am right now. If I could go anywhere in this world, I could be a lucky girl. If I could go anywhere, I wouldn't go anywhere. A friend told me I've got to see the Grand Canyon, that kind of beauty you just can't imagine. When you're standing on the edge, it takes your breath away, but you do that to me every day. If I could go anywhere I've never been, I'd take a trip around the globe and back again. I still wouldn't trade it for where I am right now. If I could go anywhere in this world, I could be a lucky girl. If I could go anywhere, I wouldn't go anywhere. I wanna stay here with you, 'cause you're where I belong, and it's oh so close to heaven. I'm safe and warm right here in your arms, and I ain't missing nothing out there. If I could go anywhere I've never been, I'd take a trip around the globe and back again. I still wouldn't trade it for where I am right now. If I could go anywhere in this world, I could be a lucky girl. If I could go anywhere, I wouldn't go anywhere. If I could go anywhere, I wouldn't go anywhere.
Her name is Ariel Franz. Her latest single is called I Wouldn't Go Anywhere, and I wouldn't either, ladies and gentlemen. I got a couple of more songs to play before we say goodnight, but she just recently had a write-up on my website in a feature called The Blog Cabin. You can check that out on KICRIndieCountryRadio.com. She's from Arizona. She's 14. She's been a special guest on my show a couple of times, and she is just a fantastic musical prodigy, ladies and gentlemen. Go check out Ariel Franz. It is Franz Music, and you can find her all over social media. She's great. This next artist is all over social media as well. He's in my chat room right now over here at Tim Kelly on Air. He is from the great state of Texas, and he is great. His latest single is called Seems Like. Seems like I love his music. Wes Ryan on the Tim Kelly Show from KICR, Indie Country Radio, New Country's Best on an Indie Wednesday.
Seems like I lean in and you turn your head away. Seems like you're here in the night but gone by day. Seems like you've been chasing something I can't see. And I'm just standing here wondering why it isn't me. Seems like we're coming apart at the seams. Like there's something lying in between. Every kiss we steal feels less like a dream and more like goodbye, though you haven't said it to me. Yeah, it's breaking my heart, and I'm taking it hard. Seems like we keep smiling for the sake of the crowd. Seems like we turn the TV up to drown the sound. Seems like we're side by side but miles away. And I keep wondering if there's anything left to say. Seems like we're coming apart at the seams. Like there's something lying in between. Every kiss we steal feels less like a dream and more like goodbye, though you haven't said it to me. Yeah, it's breaking my heart, and I'm taking it hard. We built this love like a worn-out jean, faded and frayed where the goods been seen. But now the threads come loose, the fabric's thin, and I don't know if we can sew it back again. Seems like we're coming apart at the seams. Like there's something lying in between. Every kiss we steal feels less like a dream and more like goodbye, though you haven't said it to me. Yeah, it's breaking my heart, and I'm taking it hard. Oh, we're coming apart at the seams. Seems like we're coming apart at the seams. Seems like
That is a brand new single out to radio for my good friend Wes Ryan, and it is called Seems Like. Seems like we had a great time tonight. I guarantee you we did. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight on this Indie Wednesday edition of The Tim Kelly Show. That's going to do it for this week, but tomorrow night I will be back on the air at 7 p.m. Central Time with a show I call Triple Play Thursday. Every artist on the program gets played 3 times in a row. You'll hear a great variety from one artist in 3 great songs all show long tomorrow night. And my special guest tomorrow night will be Terrence Hart and my good friend young Michael Schott from North Carolina. I want to thank my special guest tonight, J.W. Jackson and Larry Ken, for joining me on the program. The Tim Kelly Show is produced by Tim Kelly Productions. Like the Tim Kelly Show on Facebook, and we will like you right back. Until next time, I will see you on the radio. Bye-bye, everybody.
I can put you in a cornfield in downtown Manhattan. Close your eyes and reel that old zip code. I can put you on a riverbank while you're fighting traffic. I'm a song, I'll see you on the radio. Turn me on and turn it up. I can make you smile, make you cry, Taking back to high school, gym floor, and a slow dance. First love, first kiss, second base down that